Hey, what is up, everybody? Hunter here, and it is July 13th. I am so happy to talk to you guys this morning. A lot has happened, specifically with Meebit sales, punk sales. That's where we're seeing most of the purchasing happening. The other project that we're seeing a ton of purchasing happening is with Twin Flames. Justin Aversano, Sano is killing it. The entire market is just rising. I think that this being like the OG photography project, we're seeing more and more people purchase them. I personally made a purchase this morning. Tropo Farmer helping out on the other half of this purchase. Really just a huge commitment from both of us to support Justin. Um, I think this is going to be a really just historic project going forward. I know they have you know a lot of people buying into it more and more every day. We're seeing a lot of whales buy into it. So I made the bet on Justin because I believe in him as an artist. I also believe in the art, and I'm just excited to be a part of it going forward. So that was my big announcement this morning. Also, why this video is going out a little late again. I also had a insane purchase from Hunt Hippie this morning. My first sale of an artificial intelligence derived image that I've done. Really cool story about this image. Training 13 days. I was really hoping to get a certain kind of result. I lost electricity in the middle of a thunderstorm, and this was the only image that was saved from all of the images that I had done and basically produced from training this model. And this is the only one I listed for sale. There are a couple other ones that came out of this model, and I'm potentially going to list those for sale, all for point one. And I've also listed a Genesis piece this morning. Uh, just like cool stuff happening. I know I'm talking a lot about me recently in some of these videos, but definitely some exciting things happening in my end of the world. And I think they kind of just show that more is happening around, the NFT space, even though ETH is pulling back more and more. Potentially going to miss 1559. I think we could see some downside in the market going forward here. But people are still buying in. Like it's an exciting time. Punk's bot has just been annoying in my feed as well as Meebits bot. Lots of sales rolling in. We saw this one roll in for Nadeshot, who purchased this for 36 ETH. This is a punk that DeesFi had flipped a few times. I'm not sure if the price is exactly right. 36 ETH seems a little bit much for my view for this one, but certainly just shows that more and more people are buying into these projects and more celebrities, more notable figures are getting in. I do think we see the Punk's floor significantly rise over the next 7 to 14 days. We also saw a Cowboy 3D glasses roll in for 141 ETH, not a small sale. We saw an even bigger sale roll in for 200 ETH. I believe Matt Kalish purchased this. This is like the holy grail of top hats, smoking, beard, big glasses, earring. Just a cool punk. Really great to see these higher end ones happen. Also notable that we're seeing more and more people looking at like farming. Axes has certainly become higher and higher in the like hype factor, and I say hype factor and it's like it's getting attention. We're seeing prices run up. We're seeing more people get into the game. More people are explaining how they're profiting. Um, and I think this is like a prediction of mine years ago for like virtual games. Like, and I was this is before I even understood NFTs. But I was like, I think when like there's augmented reality in these games where people can like do things inside of a universe or there's the ecosystems, you'll see people making money from playing games and not streaming, like literally making money from doing something in the game. And that's what we're seeing right here play out with NFTs and crypto. So it's really cool to see this project keeping the headlines. I know G Money made a big bet on it. It seems to be paying off. Certainly a game worth looking at and understanding the mechanics. I'll have a video coming out with some people who are experts on it in a little bit. Um, we continue to see Meebits just get bought up. More people looking for specialized characters or attributes. This one being a triple snout, snout hat, pig, and the snout shirt. 17 ETH. Again, not a small sale. Like these are significant sales. Um, so exciting to see that happen. I have seen more price activity on other related characters, worth keeping an eye on. There are only a few hours left in our last round of Punk's Ape Madness for the Punk's comic. Um, I will be doing my voting live later today. Potentially, we'll see how that plays out. But there's about 7 hours left. We'll end at, I believe that is going to be what, this afternoon. Uh, but so the one thing here is that there are some insanely close matchups. There are a few people who are within like 1%, 2%. There are a few people that are even like exactly 50-50. So I encourage everybody again to vote. This is the final round to get into the comic. And I love to see this interactivity that G Funk has made happen with the project. Jumping into floors, the big one that we talked about yesterday in spaces, huge passion project, and one that I have a lot of, I guess, respect for from a like artistic standpoint and a coolness factor, and kind of growing up listening to these artists and being a huge rap fan. Across the board, we're seeing all Shy, Mudu, Chimadu prices go up. Um, Really great to see that happening. I do think those continue to rise, especially as I start to see galleries start to pick these up. That was kind of the crazy thing. Also, seeing galleries pick up Bored Apes recently. I'm sure we'll see some kind of big sale happen here, or more figures pick up these. We did see the Gilbert video yesterday. If nobody saw that, worth looking at. I'll try to link that below. Uh, I think this floor at 4 is still low. I think we see 5 probably very soon. I think it's just going to be bought up, and more people are going to get into the project. They're seeing more celebrities get into it. Um, I do think when we see whatever announcement, the next announcement uh, from Board Ape Yacht Club, these continue to rise. But we are seeing, again, like I said yesterday, profits roll from these into other projects. Most likely, like the ones, the punks, and Meebits. That's where it seems to be most of the money is going. Like I've said, almost every video since the floor got really low on these around point 0.5. I think more people are buying into this project to have skin in the Board Ape Yacht Club game. And whenever utility is announced for these dogs, I expect this price to double or triple. Um, just think a lot of money is being spread thin in the Bored Ape ecosystem, and it's starting to get consolidated right now. Seeing people just continue to buy and buy. Um, the Cool Cats floor at point 0.6, healthy holding, a little bit of a build, more people buying. I'm seeing more celebrities even pick up Cool Cats. That's great. I think that this is just a project that has the same vibe as, the apes. There is some utility on the back end for that rarity scale. They have great UI, great community. So I have high hopes for these other profile photo projects. I don't. Gutter Cats pulling back after the Rats release. I think, you know, this will be interesting to watch. I don't know what's going to happen here. We're still hovering around a 1 ETH floor. So the 1 to 1.2 area is going to likely be where we see most of the price action. The rare ones, obviously, being a little bit more illiquid. The Rats, I've seen some great sales roll in for like an ETH. So there is like price action here, but a lot of people, I think, are playing this out. It's going to be the same with every project, guys. If there's an airdrop leading up to it, there's a lot of hype. People are, prices are going to move with announcements. After that, you're going to see some kind of consolidation as people figure out price action. And once price action is figured out and rarities and demands and all of that is figured out, you will likely have that bottom of the floor be in, and then people will start to buy in. You'll see that floor rise. So not sure where we'll settle with these rats. At some point, I think it'll be in, and then it'll come back, like pretty much every other project. Um, Art Blocks continues to have insane volume. We're seeing Chromie Squiggles sell for insane amounts of money. This one just rolled in. I didn't see this. This is huge. Um, so seeing this fuzzy roll in for 3.5, like just cool stuff. Like really cool to see. You know, this project get the love it deserves. It sat there for a while. Seen aerial views get picked up. Um, wow, big Chromie Squiggle sale for 28. So Art Blocks is not dead by any means. It is thriving. Seeing a Singularity get picked up, a Fidenza for 7.5. I think just a normal Chromie Squiggle getting picked up for 2. There's price action everywhere. Art Blocks is defining itself and being solidified as a blue chip, high value, high quality platform to buy art from. And I only see this holding value over time as more people get into this space. That is exciting to see. From a buyer standpoint, Meebits floor now all the way up to almost 2. I think it's gonna take a little to break through this floor. I think there's like probably 30 sales that need to happen to break through that floor. Oh my God, I'm yawning. Sorry. And once we break through that, like I just don't see like a huge like ramp up from there to like back to original minting price. Because I think there's a lot of listings between 2 and 2.5. I think it's going to take some sort of announcement or some FOMO event to cause buy-in. I know a lot of the floor has been bought up for the last, ETH rise that we've seen, and a lot of people are now focusing on the higher end, rarer, harder stuff to get. Once they pick those up, they'll probably diamond hands them, relist them for a higher price. People are definitely stacking their bags. It does feel like there's more announcements coming around Meebits utility from what people are doing with them, and that they want to position themselves, or people that know about these things happening want to position themselves for profit. Um, but I do see Meebits continuing to rise. Even if the floor doesn't spike up in other areas, I think we'll still see that high price activity. Um, just jumping in here, a lot of the buying happening around the floor, and then every once in a while you'll see, a select kind of Meebit go for sale, like a pig, an elephant, or a hoodie up. That just seems to be where we see the money going. It has been interesting to see like people buying multiple in a row. So not just buying one, buying a few, getting their bags ready to for this to go up. Um, but yeah, great buying here. 12 ETH looks like pig with a hat. Keep your eyes on it. Don't take them off. Deadhead's floor seems to be around like zero point 0.2. Uh, Most of the price action still down by that floor, and then the rare traits, the cool stuff, again, selling for the higher price. That just doesn't happen as much. So not seeing like a huge run up on these. We're not like at a zero point 0.5 or higher floor, but we are seeing people again in this project going through the price activity this morning, buying up, getting 5 10 of these, and then I guess they're just going to sit and wait for the price to go. It hasn't been like other projects where you just see like one buy, that's it, that's all, or one or two. I have just been going through this activity this morning, seeing that there are people making 5 to 10 15 deadheads in their wallet. Um, and I guess again, just waiting for this project to play out. It has gotten a lot of notable hype. I know Gary Vee talked a lot about it. He went in their Discord, so I think there are people waiting to see what happens with Deadheads going forward. Um, yeah, so floor is right around zero point 0.2, and you can just see that like the zombies, the skeletons, the different kind of like skin attributed deadheads are going for the premium. The goats still down by point 0.1. It'll be really interesting to see how this project plays out. I think the supply and demand kind of curve is going to be interesting to see with how does price change, how do low value traits that are like, hey, nobody really wants it, it's not cool. How do those play out? Um, there is, a potential possibility where we see somebody corner the market and do a whole bunch of these like breeding utilities that we've seen and reduce a trait down to being very, very scarce. And then if that's wanted, then somebody has to pay a premium for that. So it'd be interesting to see that play out as well. But goat's floor down at point 0.1. The one floor that seems to just not have any stop in it and no stop in the future is Ghost. Ghost Zodiac, seeing them at 4 ETH, which was really painful to see. I sold mine for, point 0.9 a piece. Could have gotten an extra, 10 ETH if I had held. I'll blame that on having the Portia poem, having an emotional attachment to that. But really, this project has just been up only, and it deserves that just based on the community supporting it and how devoted they are, and it not being a cash grab. Like it's truly like the opposite of a cash grab, and watching people become more and more invested in it and becoming more invested in the community has been great to watch as an outsider. And I'm excited to see what they do next. But definitely worth keeping your eyes on. We saw the rats actually come out with utility announcement last night, I believe, and we saw people buying into those for like 3 ETH, just to I think make money on the way up. I'm trying to think who all bought this last night. Yeah, so here's Tropo with a 2.9 ETH buy, um, and then Tropo also flipping the snake. So that's cool to see, that there's more utility being announced on a day-to-day basis. Uh, Interesting. The punks are comics still continuing to sell. I think this is probably one of the highest sales that we've seen so far, 3.5. Um, I think this has to be the highest sale we've seen. So this is 3.5. It's token ID number 15. Um, huge sale for Punk's comics. The floor is right around like 1.2. It's stagnant there, but we are seeing just people buying, building up bags of these. So, if you scroll through activity, most people are buying 3 to 5, it looks like, if they're not just buying one. And if I've done like I've like looked into each of these names, like if I see them once or twice just to see how big their bags are. There seem to be people that are like up from 0 a week ago up to 10. And if you look at unique holders, it hasn't changed, but we're seeing lots of price activity. It seems to be that people are just aggregating right now. I know that there's likely going to be a huge announcement for this project at some point that sends the price higher. I'm still sitting on the ones I have. I haven't been able to buy more. I would not be opposed to buying more. But I've done the research on my end that makes me more and more bullish on this project every day, especially seeing how cool the Meta Heroes project is going to be. I do think that project becomes huge and a lot of hype. I guess while we're on stream, real quick, let's check out to see what the highest sale is because I think that 3.5 that just rolled in while we were recording the show might be the highest sale in Punk's comic history. Um, and I want to clarify that'd be kind of cool if it was. So we're just pulling this up now. Um, yeah, so that sale that just rolled in for token number 15 for 3.5 is the highest sale in Punk's comic history. Um, and I still think they got a great deal on it. That is awesome. Really cool to see that happen right in front of us. V Friends also being getting more and more price action. Even like cores going for 9 or 8 ETH. Seen a spectacular get scooped up for only 10. Really cool. gift code, another 20 plus sale. Some of these spectaculars are going for, I think, less than they ought to be. Um, I wouldn't sell a spectacular for anything less than 15. I think 15 plus is a decent return on your money. But I think still it just shows that the best play here was buying a bunch of cores and relisting them and making an insane amount of money, 10 to 30x on your purchase. So that's been cool to see happen. VFriends just still lots of volume, like lots of price activity. And the other thing with VFriends is we haven't had any like big announcements yet. Like there's been nothing that's like, hey, you have to have this one and it gives you this special utility we haven't announced, or here's the comic and this comic book, here are the 10 featured characters in the comic book. I think when that happens, you'll see prices get stupid stupid crazy. Like just lots of flipping, lots of people buying, lots of people relisting higher. So at some point we'll see that happen. GAN punks are also just notably like high volume, prices changing a lot. The activity has been pretty insane with these. Just worth noting that there has been a lot of price change on these and a lot of hype around them. I think all projects for punks around the entire kind of ecosystem we'll see increase over the next 4 weeks. So if there's a punk project that's alt that you like, probably not a bad idea to pick one up. I think it could be good for you. Just another quick look at Twin Flames, seeing all the bids roll in. I do think that I'm probably one of the last single digit sales we'll see here. But just to look back a couple weeks and see that we saw sales of 4, 5, 6, and a double digit was unheard of, and now we're seeing double digits on a daily basis. More people getting into the project. Just worth noting. Cool to see. Excited to see where that project goes. Punks, like I said at the beginning of the video, really just like an absolutely like crazy kind of like just buying and trading. And I've seen, again, not trying to like pump my own bags here, but I've seen a lot of people trade twins for punks. I've seen a lot of people trading one of one art for punks lately. I've seen Meebits being traded for punks. I've seen like at the end of the day, all roads lead back to punks, which is really cool and why I think we're seeing so much activity with them right now. We do see that this punk is here listed for 6.9 ETH, likely a private deal, must be somebody who is flipping or trading, and this is on the uh, you know just on the uh, back end of that deal. So they've had it forever, pretty much. It looks like back in 2020, and they've just held. It's been sold. Well, so a lot of flipping and activity on this punk, but interesting to see. Curious what that punk is being traded for. Hopefully, we'll find out. I'm sure somebody knows. Um, but yeah, there is a lot of stuff that is for sale between 20 and 30. I think that's we'll see most of the price activity. Um, the floor certainly has been picked through at this point. It's going to take you a little bit more ETH to get something that's special and you like, probably 30 plus. The last 24 hours, like I said, seeing that 200 ETH sale come in, the 30 to 40 ETH range being where we get the higher quality stuff, and then obviously 100 plus, seeing those be really special. A lot of 3D glasses being picked up, which sucks for me because I want one. Um, we'll have to see if I ever get a punk at this point. But yeah, I mean, huge price activity the last 24 hours. I think like what that's 20 to 30 punks sold, maybe more, like 30, 35 punks. So yeah, lots of activity on punks. Stellar Labs solidifying again themselves as the number one project in the space and the OG must have. Looking at Ethereum and Bitcoin, Ethereum taking a huge slide down to sub $2,000 ranges this morning. Bouncing back a little bit from like 1960, so up a little bit, not much though. Be interesting to see how that plays out. I think Bitcoin is going to hold. its position a little better right now just because of 1559, the EIP for Ethereum feeling like it's going to miss, and I think a lot of price was bought into it not missing. But it's still going to happen. I'm sure proof of stake is going to get delayed as well, um, which will also kind of hurt things. But I don't think anything fundamentally is changing with those coming at some point. I think it's just being delayed. Um, so with that in mind, definitely keep an eye on the price action if it goes lower. Make sure that you're not leveraged up. If it is something that you're willing to buy the dip on, you might have a buy the dip opportunity. I'm still poised kind of in a 50-50 position between ETH and alts, or ETH and stables, and we'll just see what happens going forward. But yeah, the market mostly red across the board this morning, not seeing anything up a lot, or really anything green at all. So I don't have any kind of real high hopes that we see anything running really hard today. If anything, we'll just see some pullbacks across the board. So definitely keep that in mind. Guys, with that said, that's all I have for today. Hopefully, putting out more videos, more content, doing more spaces. If you have any questions, let me know. And like I said, the three big projects I would keep my eye on right now are Punks, um, definitely Meebits, and then I think just keeping an eye, maybe like there isn't a third project, but like watch what is happening with art blocks, watch what is happening with these other like blue chip projects, because even if ETH is pulling back, I think we're seeing a lot of people start to build up higher collections, build up these things that people are starting to paper hand. They need money, they need liquidity. People are getting worried about holding stuff through maybe a bear pullback that lasts 2 weeks or 2 months. So just keep an eye on what a lot of the OGs are doing, what's happening with the blue chip projects. That would be my biggest advice to you. Do your own research, of course. But with that said, that is July 13th show. I'll catch you guys all on tomorrow morning's